If you thought February 2022 was a great month for video game releases, you haven't seen anything yet. March is even stronger, as we've had to cut at least 6 games that would normally make the cut in Dossier. It's a great month, so start plotting your spending now, provided you have any cash left over after February. Platinum Games is known for its excellent melee combat, but it's failed in the past creating network-driven games. Its next attempt is Babylon's Fall. This hack-and-slash game as a service has inspiration to live on for years and years to come. And with its 4-weapon combat system, there should be enough depth for the long haul. It's only for PlayStation and PC right now, but if Platinum and Square Enix want it to live on, that's eventually going to have to change. The granddaddy of driving simulators returns for another lap around the track with Gran Turismo 7. While GT Sport was a spin-off that featured minimal advancements, this entry is pushing the boundaries, for a Gran Turismo game anyway. Featuring over 400 cars and over 90 different tracks, it has all the prerequisites, but its structure has been vastly altered. Now there's a home screen that takes you to new features like GT Cafe, and the Scape's photo mode has received a beefy upgrade. Revamped online play should help extend the game's life as well. Old standbys like GT Simulation and the legendary license tests have also returned to keep longtime players happy. We rarely include expansion packs in Dossier, but Assassin's Creed Valhalla: Dawn of Ragnarok is out of the ordinary. Selling for a whopping $40, it's not a part of Valhalla's Season Pass and must be purchased separately, but it's a massive expansion that in some years could pass as a full Assassin's Creed release. Ubisoft itself is calling it the most ambitious expansion in franchise history, and claims it will last players around 40 hours. If you're not already burnt out on the Viking life, it's definitely worth a look. The WWE franchise has been slowly going down the crapper, culminating in the abysmal and bug-riddled WWE 2K20, which was so bad the series took a year off. This time it's been handed to a new developer, Visual Concepts, the same studio behind NBA 2K and PGA Tour Golf. It's never created a wrestling game before, but it's hard to imagine WWE 2K22 will be worse than the last game. Even in its first year handling the franchise, VC has managed to include a couple new modes. We also try to keep remasters and remakes out of Dossier when we can, but Grand Theft Auto V is just too big to ignore. It's the best-selling standalone video game of all time, and it's finally coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles March 15th. It doesn't appear that there are many changes other than improved visuals, 3D audio, and haptic feedback, but that hasn't stopped people from buying it in the past. If you long for the days of old Zelda games, Nintendo hasn't exactly rolled out the red carpet the last handful of years. Enter Tunic. While not exactly a top-down frame-for-frame homage, this isometric action adventure includes a lot of the same hallmarks with a snazzy art style to match. It's only for Xbox and PC right now, but that will likely change in the near future. No one asked for a Final Fantasy game that plays like Dark Souls, but Square Enix and Team Ninja did it anyway, with Stranger of Paradise: Final Fantasy Origin. The latter has had success with a similar franchise called Nioh, so the pedigree and qualifying experience are definitely there. The plot is based loosely on the very first Final Fantasy game, so it should provide some new context to a classic. Are Final Fantasy fans willing to grind through a really challenging game? We'll soon find out, and a free demo was a good way to help fans figure it out. Shinji Mikami is a master of video game horror. He created the Resident Evil franchise before moving on to The Evil Within for Bethesda. He's rolling out another new IP with Ghostwire Tokyo, a horror-driven first-person magic caster where you must solve the mystery of why everyone in the city's Shibuya district has disappeared and been replaced with ghouls. It's a PlayStation console exclusive in the short term, and it will also be available for PC. Kirby hasn't exactly had first-class treatment from Nintendo over the years. His games have been relatively simple 2D platformers built by Nintendo's B teams in the past. But that all changes with Kirby and the Forgotten Land. This full-motion 3D platformer has the pink puffball investigating a post-apocalyptic Earth as he sucks up enemies and uses their own abilities against them. It's already had a significant viral moment with the adorable Kirby making the rounds on social media. But with its drastic perspective switch, it might be best to wait for reviews before you buy. Borderlands 3 has been moderately successful both financially and with critics, but it's still a disappointment on both fronts for Take-Two. Perhaps the shooter RPG franchise has finally run out of steam, which should make this the perfect time for franchise spin-off Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Set in the same universe and featuring the love her or hate her titular character, it shares the same first-person loot shooting gameplay its big brother is known for. It's not a massive departure, which may be a problem unless everyone loves Tina more than we expect. Thanks for watching our roundup of 10 games worth buying in March 2022. There are so many other games worth buying in the month, so keep your browser pointed to sifted.net and use our custom content feed to find your next favorite. If you like what we're doing, head to patreon.com/sifted and drop us a pledge. We'll see you next month.